Hi, I'm Julia, and welcome to the Much Muchier Series, where I unlearn all the ways I've made myself smaller, reignite the spark I dimmed for others' comfort, and remind you of your own unexplored muchness. Look, I've never thought much of Swedish culture, and not in the way that other people from other cultures think of theirs. When I've traveled and met people from like Latin America, Middle East, Southeast Asia, they speak about their culture with this beautiful and effortless pride. Like, it's obvious that their traditions matter. Like, it's obvious that they're worth celebrating. But Sweden, and traditionally Swedish culture, we don't grow up like that. We don't really treat our culture as something special. I mean, we barely even talk about it. But now, traveling more and more, I'm starting to realize how much Swedish culture has shaped me and how much of a big part it is of who I am and how much I actually love it.
What I'm trying to say is that seeing how proud other people are about their culture, their heritage, traditions, that's really inspiring to me, because even if it's a part of Swedish culture to downplay it, I think it deserves some love too.
Swedish culture, it's humble, deeply, quietly, and irritatably humble. We don't brag, we don't gush about our traditions, we don't say that our food's the best or that our dances are sacred. If anything, we apologize for things that we like. Try explaining jantelagen, which is an unwritten rule in Swedish culture that don't think that you're better than anyone else, and for the love of God, don't stand out. Try explain that law to someone who didn't grow up with it. They're like, okay, so you're not allowed to think that you're good at anything? And we're just like, no. Of course you can, but I can't. Just not publicly, just not too much. And if you think that you're good at something, or if you're telling someone about your merits, make sure to do so in a self-deprecating tone. Because humility, it isn't a personality trait in Sweden. It's more like cultural infrastructure. The society builds on it. I never noticed how Swedish I was until I actually left Sweden. How I missed things that I didn't even know belonged to me. The unspoken rules that I knew without even giving it a thought. Now when I travel, there's so much things that I assume that doesn't apply here. There's so many unwritten rules in every culture that is so foreign when you're not from it, when you didn't grow up in it. I miss the language. I miss our social distancing that started way before COVID. Quiet yet awkward politeness. The avoiding of conflict, or even worse, eye contact. These invisible ways that we just understand each other without needing to explain or without needing to think. At least for me, because that's what I grew up in. And when you step into a culture that is nothing like your own, or that is just different from your own, those invisible understandings, they start to disappear. And you suddenly don't know what is polite, what's expected, what's normal, what's rude. You don't know how to read the room anymore. And you start to miss just understanding, instinctively knowing.
And obviously, like, I was the one that chose to travel around for a while. I love it. Like, it's by choice that I'm doing this.
Jag och världens bästa hatt har precis återförenats. Alltså det är verkligen jag och den här hatten mot världen.
It's okay to miss being comfortable sometimes, even when you love and you're enjoying being out, being uncomfortable.
The more I travel, the more I realize that culture, it isn't a place. It's an inheritance. It's also something that can be learned.
Alltså jag var verkligen tvungen att bara sätta mig ner. Jag var så hungrig. Sen kom aldrig bussen. Jag hade slut på vatten och jag fattade inte hur jag skulle ta mig ut därifrån. Ni vet bara när hjärnan bara slutar fungera. Och nu laddar vi den igen. Och jag bara gick runt hela köpcentret, hittade ingenting. Alltså jag bara irrar runt. Ni vet så här när man försöker, men det blir bara inte bra. Man hittar inte det man vill ha, ingenting känns gott. Man hittar inte ut, man hittar inte tillbaka. Mobilen håller på att ladda ur. Man är hungrig, man är trött. Och man känns typ lite ensam. Jag vet inte, när man har varit ute och rest solo så länge. Och så här, ja, man träffar ju folk på vägen hela tiden. Men så var det också när jag var på utbyte. Man får ju alltid en dipp efter ett litet tag. Allting är ju fortfarande nytt och kul, men man är trött på att inte förstå. Saker kommer ju liksom inte naturligt. Jag måste liksom figure it out varje dag. Då kommer den här liksom uppskattningen för sin egna kultur tillbaka också. Att man bara, gud vad skönt det är hemma. Inte för att det är bättre på något sätt, men för att jag är van vid det så jag förstår det mer. Men Nu har jag fått mat så det känns jättebra. Jag börjar bli människa igen.
So basically what I'm trying to say here is that I love Swedish culture a lot because I get it. That's my basis for everything. Everything I interpret it from a Swedish cultural lens. Because it's how I grew up. It's like what I was taught from the beginning. In Swedish culture, I don't need to think and I don't need to interpret. I just do. Just like you feel when you're around your culture. You kind of need to experience something else to appreciate what it is that you have.
My mom is with me in how I solve problems. My dad is with me in how I treat other people. My sister is with me in making every situation humorous somehow. Every tiny reaction I have is colored by the culture that they passed down to me.
Nu ser jag faktiskt att jag borde kunna hinna till Taipei 101 till solnedgången. Jag tänker att det tar 50 minuter att åka dit. Solnedgången är om typ en timme. Jag har mer energi nu. We can do this. Också så här, dagarna har inte blivit upp och ner. En dag går inte rakt. Den går så här. Måste vi gå?
It's comforting to realize that my roots, they don't stay behind when I travel. They come with me everywhere I go.
Oh, there's a mosquito.
Also Swedish, being afraid of foreign animals. But they stay with you everywhere you go and in everything that you do. Swedish culture, it isn't loud, but it lives in me in a way that I never really fully appreciated until I stepped out of it.
Jag gick ju 100% fel håll mot tunnelbanan, men den är där borta. Ska vi se. Där är den. Jag tänker inte ens på att det är jul. Det är slumpen idag att det är 1 december. Det är helt sjukt. I Sverige, då hade det ju liksom varit snö om man har tur, men alltså snöblandat regn antagligen. Och nu liksom, jag går runt i linne och jag svettas. Okej, lokalbefolkningen går inte runt i linnet. Jag har märkt att alla turister klär sig som att det är 40 grader. Och lokalbefolkningen, de klär sig som att det är 15 grader. Så det är lite diskrepanser med hur varmt egentligen är. 1 december, det känns galet. Jag har inte julkänsla än, men jag tror att den kommer.
Något fint ändå är att jag kom hit precis i tid. Efter så många typ missar med mat, med tider, gör fel saker vid fel tidpunkter, så känner jag bara, vilken fullträff. Det kändes bara så fint att komma precis typ 30 sekunder innan solen går ner. Eller ja, nu ska vi inte överdriva. 3 minuter kanske, men typ samma sak.
Det här var det lilla köpcentret där jag kom till liv igen idag.
And I admit it, I started to feeling a little bit homesick this week. So I decided to visit a Swedish cafe for a real fika.
Jag gjorde det igen. Vi ska ner igen. Det ligger i bottenplan. Jag har åkt högst upp. Allt för en fika. Det är faktiskt livsviktigt. Det kommer närmare, jag känner det. Jag känner det på mig. Nej, det var Starbucks. Vi måste gå runt med snabbt.
Because fika, it's not just a great reason to have something sweet. It's also the Swedish way of pausing, reconnecting, and recharging. Like just seeing the sign made me skip, and sitting there reminded me of Lucia and of Midsummer, of all of these Swedish traditions that I so cherish. And these rituals, they aren't just traditions or holidays or a reason for Swedes to have a sweet treat. They're markers and indicators of who I am and where I come from. And I didn't think that they matter that much to me, but they really do. I used to think that other cultures, they were more interesting, more expressive, more colorful, more worth celebrating. Even when I described Swedish culture in the beginning of this video, like I didn't really use positive terms necessarily.
on the other coin of jantelagen, we have a really strong value of equality in Sweden, which is visible not only in the strong LGBTQ rights, but also being one of the most equal countries in the world among men and women, as well as basically free healthcare and education all the way up to university. I mean, you even get paid for going to high school and for going to university. Like, not a full-time salary, but still, like, you get a little allowance. Why? Because no one is better than anyone else, and therefore everybody deserves an equal chance. And that's why we pay higher taxes, because we think that no one is more deserving than anyone else to access to free and good healthcare and higher education than anyone else. It's a human right. And of course, inequality still exists in Sweden, and the system is not perfect. And there's always room for improvement. I know I joke about jantelagen a lot, but I think that this is an area where it gets to shine a little bit. I love Sweden. I love my home country, and that feels really good to say.
When people say that they want to travel to Sweden, I often find myself saying, nah, you should go to Norway instead. It's so much more beautiful there. Go to Norway. People are much more social, it's more beautiful. Like, girl, what? You're the worst ambassador ever. Promote your country. The more I travel, the more I'm exposed to other cultures. The more I recognize beauty in other cultures, the more I'm starting to see the beauty in my own, the humble culture that raised me. Swedish culture, it may not shout, which in my opinion, it doesn't have to. Plus, I like having a secret language only 0.13% of Earth's population understand. Swedish culture, it speaks in a language that my body remembers. No matter how far I travel. Because you can be far from home. I'm in Taiwan right now and still carry your home with you. Everyone you've met makes a mark on you. And if you want, you can carry those people or those memories or those places with you for the rest of your life. So if you ever feel lost, confused, or culturally out of sync, that's okay. Sometimes you have to get uncomfortable and step outside of your culture to finally see it clearly. And to appreciate the pieces that shaped you so quietly all along. And to also see what a great blessing that is. And to see what opportunities that gives you because of how unique it makes you. But anyways, that's something for the next chapter. I'll see you then.
Nu låter det jättemycket för jag sitter precis vid gatan. Jag har min sista måltid här nu. Måste bara säga att det blev verkligen en fullträff. Maten jättegod. Kaffet är asgott. Pannkakan är fantastisk. Mannen som jobbar här är jättetrevlig. Det var bara så skönt att få en fullträff. Allting är perfekt. Och nu är jag nog redo att lämna. Sådär ja. Där satt den.